If you choose to report directly to the VMD via the Adverse Reaction Reporting online form, the web link will take you to this home page. From here, you will be able to select whether you are reporting an animal adverse reaction or a human adverse reaction. If you select that you are reporting an animal adverse event, you will be directed to the following form. The first field to fill in will be the product name. As you start typing, a list will appear. The correct product can then be selected. If the product is not listed, ensure the spelling is correct and try using only the first few letters. If the product is still not listed, then continue manually typing the full name of the product. The Marketing Authorization Number, or MA number, can be found on the packaging and is another way for us to identify which product is involved in this report. The batch or lot number and the batch or lot expiry date can also be found on the product packaging. These fields are important as they allow concerns in specific batches of the product to be identified. The administration start date is the date of the first hive treated. A partial date can be inputted if the exact date is unknown. Further details can be typed in the reason for using product box. The person who administered product can be selected as the most appropriate option from the drop-down list. Owner can be selected for beekeeper, and farmer can be selected for commercial beekeeper. The administration route in most cases would be in hive use. The administration duration unit is the time in which the product was administered. For example, you could select that 3 minutes of vaporization occurred, or 7 days of a strip being in the hive had occurred. The dose details is the dose administered per hive. For example, 2 grams of powder, 1 strip per hive, etc. The reason for using product is in your own words why this product was used. Examples of this could include for varroa mite reduction, for prevention, or following advice or guidance from a veterinarian or bee inspector. As this is a free text box, it can also be used to add any additional details on the product name and administration. The question at the end of this form, do you think this product contributed to the adverse signs observed, is your opinion on the situation, a yes or no of whether you think the product resulted in the adverse events being seen. Once you have completed the product details, you will be directed to the product details summary screen. From this screen, you can edit or delete the product you have just added, and you can add another product. You can do this multiple times until all products that were used around the time of the adverse event are added to the case. Once you have confirmed the products involved, you will be directed to the animal details screen. As you can see, I have pre-filled this for a bee adverse event. In order to select a bee adverse event, you would select species not listed in the animal species drop-down box. For this option, there will be no animal breed options. In most cases, mixed would be the appropriate option for sex for beehives. Select alternative options if relevant. The animal's date of birth or the age can be selected. This would usually be how long the hive has been established, but this field can be left blank if unknown. If species not listed is selected as the animal species, then you must type further information into the additional species information before the form will let you progress. You can put bees, or honeybee, or Apis mellifera, whatever indicates the animal that is affected. You would not usually need to type in any additional breed information. The weight in kilos can be added if a beehive weight is relevant. Again, if there is any particular information that doesn't fit into these fields, you can add them to the free text boxes, either in the additional species information or the additional breed information, and this will allow us to pick it up once we have received the report. The next form to complete is the animal reaction form. The date that the reaction started is the date that adverse events were first identified, even if the reaction subsequently got worse or additional events occurred. The number of animals treated, number of animals reacted, and number of animals recovered refers to the number of hives rather than the number of individual bees affected. Numbers of animals that died, i.e. number of hives that died, would refer to any hive with significant mortalities, i.e. greater than 80% of bees dead. Numbers killed would refer to the number of hives intentionally destroyed, for example for disease control purposes. Reaction status can be added as ended or ongoing. If signs are still occurring at the time of report, then ongoing should be selected. Another field will then appear where you can select the number of animals not yet recovered. So this would be the number of hives that are still experiencing an adverse event. If ended is selected, then the reaction duration and duration unit can also be selected. The time to onset is the time interval between the administration start date of the treatment and the date the reaction started. Select the most appropriate option. For example, if a product was administered and a reaction was seen 12 days later, then select less than 14 days. The description of reaction is a detailed account of what occurred, ideally in chronological order. Useful information could include the dates treatments were given, especially if several treatments were given or different hives were treated at different times. The signs seen, whether the hives died or were destroyed, if the numbers were estimated, so for example, if you feel that the hives might have been a greater number, but you were not sure, all of these things could be noted in the description of reaction. Was the adverse reaction treated is a yes/no option. Select yes if any treatment was administered for the adverse event, for example, nutritional supplements, giving an alternative product, etc. Treatment details can be added into the description of reaction free text box above. Previous exposure to any of the products involved is another yes/no question. If yes is selected, then yes/no can also be selected for previous reactions to indicate if previous reactions have occurred with this product. In the reporter details, there is a section to add in the details of any veterinarian involved. If the details of the veterinarian are the same as the primary reporter, then the box can be ticked to reflect this. There is also a tick box at the end of the form, which asks whether you want to be contacted regarding this report. We will only contact you using the information on the reporter details form if we would like to discuss further details about the case. For example, if we want to clarify any further information or if any parts of the case are unclear. If you do not wish to be contacted in this manner, you can tick the box, which will prevent us from contacting you in future about this case. Near the end of the adverse event reporting form is an additional information box. Anything else that you would like to add about the case can be inputted into this box. Just before submitting the case, there will be a confirmation screen where you can check all the details that you have added for this case and edit anything that is incorrect. When you have checked all of the details in the case, you can then select Submit Report, and this will send the report electronically to us at the VMD. You will be taken to a final screen with a unique reference number for this case. Once the case is submitted, it will be sent directly to the VMD. If you added an email address to the reporter detail screen, then you will be sent an automatic acknowledgement email with a unique reference number. Once the case is received, we will then process the case and log any details into the database for pharmacovigilance purposes. Any case involving a particular company's product will be sent to that company. However, the reporter details and identifying details such as location names or vet practice names will not be sent with the case in order to maintain reporter confidentiality.